Hello lollies and jelly beans, I'm Melanie Florence and this is Hot Tea for the Soul. So today I'm going to be doing a solstice reading. So a full moon in Pisces, solstice, we're changing the season. If you're in the southern hemisphere, we're changing into spring. If you're in the northern hemisphere, you're going into autumn, right? Or fall, depending on where you are. So today we're going to do a little bit of, I've got 3 different spreads. So this reading is set up to be a Witches Brew. So if a Witches Brew is for you, this has got a few magical cards, we've got element cards, we've got a bit of divination, stuff and blessings going on from the magical realm. If you are after something that's a bit more fairy or fae-like, I'm going to be doing a fae reading, so like a FaeryTale Tea. All the decks are in the background, you'll be able to see all of those. And if they're not for you, I'm also going to do a Muses reading, which is like gods and goddesses and our real strong elements from the Light Seers tarot and Muses tarot. So we're going to draw on that. So if this is not the reading for you, a bit witchy, and you would look at the others, I'm going to put the description in the links. All right, so let's see what we have in the Witches Brew. Let's set up a little bit of elemental stuff. All right, let's go straight in. This is, ooh, confidence. Alright, so look at that. Nice spreading our wings, got confidence in what we've got. Confidence we can fly, you can believe you can fly. Look, and the dream's inside and it's backed in gold. Got confidence to shine your light. Alright, that's what we want. Alright, little Witches Brew, what else we got for you? Let's see what elemental stuff can we pull out for the Witches Brew. Alright. This solstice and full moon. Solstice. Always let the tea out. Music. Put your music on. Alright. We change our vibration. Vibrational frequencies are really important. And when we want to manifest and we want to change our environment around us, music is really good. It's something we can enhance. It changes the atmosphere around us. It changes our vibration. If you ever have had a bad day and you put your headset on and you play through your music, like quite often after a half an hour, you'll find yourself in a new spot. And so music does that. Music changes, and there's vibrational frequency training you can go through, right? Oh, I got this new little deck. Let's see what this is. This is Butterfly Affirmations. Oh, straight out, look at the butterfly. So what do we got? Everything happens according to divine timing for the best results. Alright, everything happens according to divine timing for the best results. Yes, it does. If you've been waiting for something to happen, the seasons to change, the tide to come in, everything happens in divine timing. Oh, as I put that down, I'm over here. Alright, and there's the card. Oh, vulnerability. This is a meadow of abundance, and quite often you would probably associate this with the Empress, even we don't see her vulnerable because she's such a strength. But it's about showing your vulnerability, showing your softer side, showing, you know, the love, sharing the love, showing your vulnerability and who you are. So it was a meadow of beautiful flowers to go through this. Alright, that's nice. What else have I got over here? Let's take one from the herb garden. Let's get something from the garden for our Witches Brew. A little bit more for me and you. All right. Apparently if you rhyme, it's true, see? That's how it works. Alright, one more for the Witches Brew. Ooh, corn. I saw that jump out. What have we got? So we've got an earth vegetable ritual. Sweet corn. Get into the sound of it. Look at all the ritual. Look at all the everything in line, and it's really inspired with that yellow orangey colour, and it's really driven, but we're that ritual of our cells and all those little pieces of ourselves that make the tradition, that make up everything that we are inside of there. So a bit of sweet corn in your life. Alright, that's fun. We'll get to a few other cards a little bit later. But if you have seen, I've done some videos that are the they really are the I'll hold in there. I'm doing a bit of tarot talk. I've done a little bit of an introduction video into them. I'm going to go through different cards and go through the different meanings from different decks, because I've collected a lot of decks and they all tell something a little bit different about the cards. In that, this week I was talking about a Romany spread. So I decided for these I'm going to do a Romany spread. So it talks about, a Romany spread is 7 cards for what's been going on, 7 cards for where we're at, and 7 cards for where it's going to go. So this is a general reading, I guess, for those who are in this feels. All right. We're going to start with that card, but I'm not going to shuffle them all out. Oh. All right, so we're going to lead from here. All right, so we've had the Tower. Bum, bum, bum. All right, so this is lightning energy. Anything that you see with this lightning, it means that it's direct, it's happening, it's flash, it's done in a flash, like direct lightning energy. The Tower breaks you down to all of your own foundations. It breaks you down to everything that you are, and it dissipates everything. So this is a breakaway moment. All right, so the breakaway moment in here, where people that you no longer need to be with, like all this, you know, anything that was superficial has broken away. And anybody who's gone through a mad mix this last while, that's probably where we're at. There's been some breakaway moments. We all should be looking at our foundation, right? We should all be looking at our foundation seriously and seeing what that really is, seeing what our core beliefs are, and breaking ourselves down and away from superficial shit in our life, right? All right, so we'll take on that Tower card because we all know it's true. Something changed, something broke down. Systems are breaking down. You can see it. And things are having to be rebuilt. We're having to fight for rights. We're having to fight for things, but the systems break down. Smash, breakdown moment, breakaway moment, lightning change, and you know it. You know it. All right, so from here, we're going to go like this. Because shuffling and get them all out can take time, right? Here we go. There's new conversation. You're watching stuff. People are watching you. You're watching these little conversations. In the Greenwood deck, this is conversations that are like a woodpecker. This is like really tapping. This is conversations and little tapping, and everybody's talking and little conversations, right? So maybe after this breakaway, you started talking a new way. You've breached into new conversations. You're having little conversations. Could be little SMSs, could be messages, those sort of things, emails and those sort of things. But it's really intellectual conversations going on. All right. The Empress. We'll take note that it was reversed, but there's light enough in the deck, so usually that's a bit muted, and so you're finding that it's finding it hard to actually perhaps express your interest and engage in this vulnerability and stuff. So it's about maybe exposing your vulnerabilities and going through this process that you've had to expose those vulnerabilities. All right, and really work from your heart space, working on your heart space so that you can be better in the physical world, like in how you apply that, and the feminine, right? In that feminine balance. So working how you show that vulnerability, perhaps. And that communication's of. Right. So did we show her? Because she is brilliant. Right. Alright, and then we've got the 4 of Pentacles. This is like withholding. This is on the earthly plane. So when we talk about this 4, we're in a position where we're protecting ourselves. We're pulling everything in. It's a position of rest where we look at our budget, we look at what we have, and we hold in and we like protect ourselves, but we're resting on that money sort of thing. So maybe you're feeling that it's just a bit of time to take stock of everything you have and be still and protect what you've got. All right. So, and then we Hermit. All right. So this isn't surprising where this is going to go. So the Hermit is the other side of Virgo. And so we're both sitting on both sides of this pentacle. So we both sit there and we're both looking at this. So there's a time that we're pulled in the budget because we know that we're this abundance, and you know maybe we're vulnerable, and we're pulling in because we know we need to on a spiritual realm. You can also see there's a pentacle still inside of this. All right, and it's taking time, and sometimes this is downtime from it all, from the laptop, everything. But we know that the world is probably going into a bit of hermit. A lot of people, particularly if you're in lockdown circumstances, might be being a bit of hermit, really pulling everything in. I'm watching where that's at. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 more. All right, King of Wands was a bit reversed, but this is retarded. This is taking on driven energies. The King is quite passionate, and so maybe passions have been held back a bit, but you are looking at your spirituality. It's more of an internal thing, necessarily an external thing. Right, but you need to be careful of using your power, what's coming out of this for your wisdom, and there's this driven force that's looking inside of all of that, one way or the other. Alright, so, we then have, last but not least, the card of independence. This card of independence, this card of traditions, card of you as an individual, as an independent person. Alright, so a lot of people may find themselves single. But this is also reaping what you sow, you as an individual, maybe self-sustaining as well. Maybe you saw this and pulled in and you're inspired, but you have gone internally to be driven with that. But this is like really being confident of who you are and your skills and what you've done and the seeds that you've planted as you've gone inside of this process, right? Alright, so that is sort of the past. My little Witches Brew. So the next is coming into the now. This is the now sort of stuff. Alright, so what have we got? Six of Cups. Alright, so there's a bit of a reunion. This is an emotional reunion. Maybe all this stripping back. So this could be reuniting with an old lover, friends and family from the past. This is also reuniting with your childhood, this Six of Cups. Like these childish things, these childhood things. Music, having confidence, being vulnerable, maybe. Alright, you might be reconnecting with lovers. It does come to that. It may be family and stuff, but it's really that love is being given back to you as you go through this, right? Inside of that, and it's coming back to you. This really beautiful cup of love. Look at the magic in it, in that cup of love. Alright, so there's some sort of reunion going on. You've really maybe gone like quite single, and maybe this person was coming and they aren't, which has kept you in that retarded position. Alright, because we can take that into play. I don't really read reverse, but you know, I'm doing it for the sake of for the whole, take a little reverse, because the green one doesn't do reverse, and that's basically it. There's enough light in the dark in the deck, because we know that, right? So, I'm going back, we'll remember that. Alright, so Six of Cups, maybe some sort of reunion. Because we have been waiting on something. There's been a hermit phase inside here, and you become an individual, and there's some sort of reunion with childhood stuff. It may be that you're reconnecting with stuff that you really enjoyed doing. You've let go of all the bullshit. You've let go of all the superficial shit. Like, and you've thought of your ideas, and you've had all these little ideas of what that is to have that fulfillment. What is that vulnerability? Right? You've taken your time to grow your garden, and here we are, getting back into those things. Alright, and the Ten of Pentacles. Oh, right, this is the home. This is legacy. This is really connecting with, and really planting your tree, and really having the apples to feed the house, and the legacy of what you leave in the community, and friends and family. So this is a happy house. So there might be something that's returning to come into this. It's not just what you have in the past, it's what you have in the future. It's the whole, everybody and the dogs. Everybody's included in that happiness inside of that Ten of Pentacles. That's abundance. We've moved from that 9 to the 10. This is it coming into the now. Things are going to flourish. My witchy poos. Oopa. Alright. Alright, this is all about timing. And we were talking about that. We were talking about that over here. Everything happens according to divine timing for best results. That's exactly what this card is. So conversations have been waiting, like this is a conversation perhaps coming through, breakthrough. And I love in this Rider-Waite sort of, this is the modern witch, but this is always handing through. It's this new beginning, always in the Ace. All right, and this is a new intellectual, but it's new conversations, but it's also about timing, right? Timing. So this has been waiting for divine timing, people. What have we got in the middle? What's right now in the present, right? Here we are. Oh, King of Pentacles, slow and steady. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Can be a Gemini energy, but we are talking about the Earth Kings, really. So this is really talking about, you know, like the real fulfillment, the strength of having the home, of having all of these things, of having love, having it all together, and really being able to enjoy it in the physical world. Like the king, this king enjoys it. He really enjoys his stuff. All right, so 3 more to go, witchy poos. The Devil. Alright, so this is a real testing. This could be a sexy time-ish. The Devil has some real aspects, but the Devil asks you, what are your foundations? What are those things? So this couple has been tested. This card comes straight after the Lovers. We get the Lovers to meet, and then they come and verse the Devil, right? Inside of the progression of the journey of the Fool. So this is about our temptations. This is about like being able to set up. This is about crossing the T's and dotting your I's in contract. This is about having the strength of your being and actually dealing with your underworld, dealing with your devil inside. So maybe this king is dealing with the devil. We're going through the dark though here, you can see. Alright, so there's going to be some sort of temptation perhaps in there. Maybe there's just really strong challenges that are still ahead in dealing with this circumstance, because we can see that it's like, it's all about divine timing. We can see about it that it's all, and the devil coming in. This could be Capricorn. That's very Capricorn energy sitting right there with those two cards next to each other. Alright, so we've got a lot of earthy feelings inside of this. And as much as, so we had the Tower, which is lightning, but we had a lot of grounding energy inside of this as well. Alright, I'm still feeling, I'll turn this back. Alright, so apparently I'm just going to keep turning them around, right, so we can keep that in perspective. So, 2 more cards to go for the present. Alright, this is the Knight coming in. The Knight is his king, and he was also sort of reversed as we pull him up. So the Knight is inspiration and his charge, his sometimes player energy, the Knight of Wands. He's seen as the Bachelor card, because he really isn't looking to settle down. He's really looking to fire up. And so maybe that is his temptation inside of here. Alright, this king and this Knight energy, maybe that's about getting inspired and getting on your horse and taking on this challenge. Alright. Maybe there's a breakthrough moment inside of here to get this, because we're looking at attainment, reattaching and looking forward to this, and the home, and you spend a lot of time at home. Alright, so the Knight of Wands is charge any bit. We are saying it's a little bit retarded, and somewhere in here this can be player energy inside of here, inside of all of this sitting just there. But we've got the strength of 2 kings, so we'll sit there where there is some maturity in that. Okay, alright, so what have we got here in the end of this present line? Oh, a Knight of Swords, it's going forward. Pentacles, Knight of a Page. We've got the Page earlier, so this is a more mature, this is more driven, more expression. So maybe the passion is going to be subdued, but we're going to be talking about stuff. The communication may be changing inside of all of these circumstances, and this communication could be changing inside of your circumstances. That's an interesting look, isn't it? Alright, so he's charging. We'll come back. We always do. We'll go back over and see where these connections lie. Alright, so going into the future, got the 3 of Cups. So 3 of Cups is joy. And again with family and friends. The joy inside your heart. The joy after attraction. The joy of being able to celebrate together. And so there's some sort of joy that is coming out of through all of this. There's challenging circumstances, and I guess it's maybe retiring this night and being able to communicate properly. But you're in a position of strength right now. This holding back has put you in a position of strength right now to be able to voice your truth like this, right? Because this is where we're leading through, to voice your truth. And that's going to be challenged. It's going to be challenged. And in your faith, then it's going to be challenged. And you're going to have to communicate from your mind, not necessarily from your faith, right? Inside of here. Alright, so, and the passion may be lulled, but there's communication to be had, but it's going to bring joy. Right, so we're going to bring joy, happiness inside of us. Well, joy, happiness is 10, so joy is the 3. Right, hi Joy. Alright, so, and we've got the 3 of Pentacles. That's creativity. It's creating with people, it's very earthy, you can see, and it's getting creative with your community, it's getting creative with you as a person. It sort of really talks about really getting into your hobbies and stuff. And I think we go to this spot sometimes that we have to make our hobbies into something that's got to make money. Try doing that. Sometimes that can make it very frustrating. Sometimes you've got to do things because you love them. And so we've got joy, and you're going to have a creative space that you can actually do stuff in. So this is good stuff. We like this. This is great. Alright. So, let's go 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands. We've got triumph. Triumph through all this adversity, through all this challenge through here, all this independence that you needed to gain. You're going to ride in on this horse again. Ride out on this horse. Right? This is triumph. This is, you reap what you sow. What you put in, you get out. Like there's you're going to stand, and people are going to see that you've triumphed in a spiritual way. It's about real triumph. Oh, and you're going to take on the world. Alright? We've got all our potential. This is our potential energy. This is the bow pulled back, ready to be launched. Ready to go, you know all your skills, you got everything, and you're really ready to take it to the world, and give it a go. Alright, you can really apply your strength. So you've got the strength to take it and take on the world, but that's like the chariot that's going to be running. Alright, this is the end of a cycle. This is where we see what's our responsibility and what's ours and what's not. This is where we hand back sticks that are not ours and we carry our responsibilities home. All those things that we've stood by. All right, and so there's a responsibility in taking this action, all right, and having this triumph. There's a responsibility that you will have to carry, and you will shoulder some of that burden. Again, if they're not your sticks, give the sticks back to who they are. They're only yours to carry. They're the ones that you carried through all this journey, that you carry through your triumph, and they're yours. They are looked at as a burden in this, but in all reality, it's about responsibility. It's all how you look at it. All right, so, ooh. This card is a kicker, particularly at this end, coming into the future. So this is conversations that need to be had to get to the heart of the matter. So there are some things that are not being said in the 2 inside of the air category, like in the air zone. All right, so there is conversations deep down inside of this that need to be had. Like getting to the heart of the matter. People are hurting. This is like fuck it hurt card, right? But keeping it inside isn't no better. So this can indicate that there may be a 3-party situation, that there could be cheating going on, but there's a 3rd party inside of a conversation that you're not being privy to. But this is really taking, getting to the heart of matter, getting to these hard conversations that need to be had in here, because we can see that this is a hard period in here, and there's some sort of responsibility to be taken to go to forge forward, and you're going to be like having joy, and you're going to be creative, and you're going to be triumphant. There's some strong conversations that need to be had about what the responsibility outside of this is, and what this being held back perhaps has done, and how that hurts. It doesn't have to be 3rd party. It literally can be, because everybody, we've got the player card here, and we've got a 3rd party card in here, but this is like retarded. The passion is retarded, and this is really about having these conversations here, right here. All right, because we're independent. Let's see what the outcome from these conversations are. Just sitting here. Ooh, they're a bit bored. We're not finished just yet. We're going to do some clarification on some of this. So, going to be a bit bored. This is where we have 1 cup, which is ourselves, and we're not interested. And the 3 cups of joy are standing over there by themselves, and we're not interested. And so sometimes we're going to look at what's been given to you. This is a self-love card, right, where you need to stop. This is our pause card. We paused back here to stop with our money. We're pausing back here to stop with our emotions. We're over it. All right, it says over it on our top, even. All right, we're over it. And so something has been held back, and you're an individual inside of this. All right, we're going to do a little bit more talking just for the fun. Let's see what else cards come out of this, because I want to do a bit of clarification. We don't want to leave it hanging like this. All right, what is this Tower moment? Let's come back to here. What is this Tower moment? And I'm going to do the same with these cards. Oh, no, I'm not. All right, what is this Tower moment? Whoa, it was a jump. We talk about the Fool at the beginning of the journey. Taking a leap, it's a leap of faith to jump away from all of that stuff, from all of everything, that Tower moment. This is a leap of faith. You went, I've got to be myself. I've got to jump into my real, like get away from this superficial stuff. Like it's really, it is, that Tower moment, it's really turned it over. And this Page of Swords, what were we talking about? What was everybody talking about? We're talking about respect. And so this is actually about really respecting ourselves, that drive inside of it, like, and taking on that challenge. Is 10 of Wands. When we're talking about what we're carrying, this is what we're carrying. Everything that we fought for, all of our spiritual, what we fought for. And so this vulnerability, what is that vulnerability that's going on? What is the vulnerability that's going on? Okay. Well, this is about expression, and this is about clarity and an even mind, and you know, that step up to this plate, there's one more that step. And so where are you on a business level perhaps? This is an air element dude. And so this is perhaps about how you're expressing yourself inside of here. You didn't feel necessarily like you were the Empress. Maybe you feel like you were communicating yourself in a different manner inside of here, but maybe there was a communication issue with this person. Maybe there's that's been a break, and that's where the vulnerability is dealing with somebody and an issue of the mind, like a king of the mind. All right, what else have we got? All right, let's see what this King of Wands is doing here. As we know, we pulled back and we know he became a hermit. What's the King of Wands in reverse doing here for this Witches Broom for this solstice? What's his passion that was being held back? Oh, it's being able to communicate as a couple. Alright, so you've been trying to communicate and not being able to, your passions have not been listened to, but it's a couple, because we've got a couple on the table just there. Alright, so it's being able to communicate as a couple, so you become single, solo in this. What is this thing that's coming back? Six of Cups. What is this thing that's coming back? It's looking back at your past, it's looking back at your childhood. It's looking back at where you've come from. It's looking back at your transition. It's looking back. It's the Hangman. It's looking back at everything with a different perspective. Reuniting with your childhood. Reuniting with who you really were. Alright, who you really are before all of this. When you're the Fool. When you did all this jump. When you broke away. Who is that person? Alright, what is this Pentacles? Ten of Pentacles. It's going to come. Oh, it's a fox. So we've got passion in here. This fox. So we're alright. This is something. This is foxy energy. So this is the passion to actually get this and attain this inside of here. What are we communicating with the Ace of Swords? The Guardian, the devil on one side and the devil on the other. That we're going through our darkest nights. Alright, we're going through our darkest spots. We're still communicating our respect, and we're going through our darkness and what we've learnt from that. And how we have our foundation. Alright. And there's injustice. There's things we didn't know, and I was going for the other devil there. So there's things that you don't know. There's things that you can't comprehend. There's things that you haven't been told inside of all of this. You're not in on all the details that's coming up on this. Alright, this is very interesting for this Witches Brew, for this full moon solstice. Let's see what this night's got going on. The Knight is being a retarded king. Then we go back. There's a lot of fire in here. There's a lot of fire in here. You're going to pull back your energy because of this. Some things that haven't been expressed, and this has been a hard energy. And there's the fire in here, whether we've, with this king and the knight and the king. Right? It's just running around this fire and the inspiration from this fire king. Potent male sexual energy, passion, right? And so it's being retarded, so we're waiting for that. And maybe this is potent sexual energy. Alright, what have we got for this Knight of Swords? What are we communicating in all of this? Okay. So they are talking. They're talking to somebody else. This is this card again. This is this card again. There's jealousy in here. The conversations, the Three of Arrows. Candles just gone out. Alright, Three of Cups. What have we got into the Three of Cups? Being happy. You're going to be dedicated. You're going to be dedicated to your thing. You're going to be dedicated to your space of mind inside of all of this. You're really going to take charge inside of all this. You're really going to take charge inside of whatever all of these challenges is, but all this stuff you don't know. There's a lot of fire and energy in here, fire and masculine energy in here. There's a bit of player energy inside of here. There's a bit of like conversations that definitely not have been had inside of here and need to be had, and they're going to be had. And once you've had those, you're going to get dedicated. You're going to get dedicated to your joy. You're going to get dedicated to your happiness. And that Three of Pentacles has you creating, and there's a triumphant energy in there. Where do we take responsibility? We take responsibility for our part inside of this. Where do we take responsibility? And where the sun shines. And how we're taking this, and how we have our heart inside of this. Alright, we've got two more. Let's see what we got, because this is a really interesting solstice read. Alright, there's conversations that you need to have. There's spiritual, there's decisions, a belief that need to be had. There's a concord, an accord that needs to be made, and you need to make a decision. You need to trust your intuition. If you're not being told stuff, you might need to trust your intuition on that. There's Four of Cups. And we come back because it's a reunion to yourself. There's a reunion of lovers in here. Don't give up hope. This is very complicated. Whoever is going through this, there's a lot of energy in here. There is a bit of back and forth, on and off, the heat being turned on, the heat being turned off. We've got that page of communication again, left on the bottom. So there's communication to come still, even after this point. There's a lot of talking. This is a complicated issue. You might need to be vulnerable, have confidence, right? Believe in your rituals. And what have we got back here with our butterfly? Everything happens according to divine timing for the best results. Alright, it does sound to me like there's got to be some communication in here, because there's passions and there's trials all over the place inside of this. You're independent. You are going to triumph. You are going to take on the world. You are being bathed. This is a yes card. This is make decisions based on your faith inside of this, not necessarily that what that is about. But you're being handed something, and what you're being handed back is going to bring you back to this reunion. It's all there to reunite you. All right. Thank you for being here for the Witches Brew. Full Moon Solstice. Here we are. So I hope that that resonates with you. It'd be great to hear from you. Hit like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the flip side.